Welcome to Tableau Expert. We are now going to be covering the most advanced functionality on the tool. It's going to absolutely blow your mind. So let's go and have a look. We're going to navigate here to Blueprint, and it is the last course in phase 1. Well done. Let's have a look here. Now, if you haven't seen it in the other ones, or this is the first course you're seeing, there is a free preview of this course. Simply click on that button. Okay, and if you scroll down, you're going to see videos that are from the course to give you an idea of what you're going to be learning in the course. Okay, you can see handling large data sets, join theory, parameters. We're going to cover all this when we look at the curriculum in a few minutes. Okay, right, so that is the free preview. I'm going to head back to the course. Like so, and let's have a look at the curriculum. So what is really the difference between intermediate and expert? The key one is something called data modeling. Okay, what does data modeling mean? So in beginner, intermediate, we essentially take a data set, an Excel file, text file, right? We bring the whole thing in, and that's the end of the story. Okay, and we get on with the visualization. But in the real world, very rarely will all our information be in one place, especially in larger organizations where, say I'm in a bedding company, you have one department that just does beds, another one that just does sheets, another one that just does, bed frame. We recently, bought furniture. So anyways, so you have to go to every single one of those departments and go, can I have your data? And you need to find a way to relate them, because maybe your research question is, well, do the people that buy bed frames also buy bed sheets, as an example? So you need to be able to connect the data. So that is the main difference with expert, in that we're going to be doing a lot more data modeling. So we're going to be learning about joins. We're going to learn about all the different join types. So inner, left, right. And for people who've never done joins before, we're going to be doing really simple visual explanations of how that works. And I'm literally going to be in Excel moving cells, going, when you do this, it's going to go like this. That one's going to move here. And you actually see what the computer does. So you have a really deep understanding of what it's doing. And the reason it's important to understand it with just 5 rows is because, logically speaking, how it does it for 5 rows is the same way it does it for 5 million or 50 million or 500 million. So if you ever wonder, how do I go from dealing with small data sets to large one? This is it. Understanding the logic that it applies regardless of scale, right? We have to factor in performance. We'll get into that later. Then we get into different join types, things like relationships and blends, each having their own different characteristics depending on what you're going to use them for, right? Super powerful stuff. So we're going to get through all of that. We're going to get into examples and assignments. So there's going to be a lot more assignments here, because for these more advanced topics, you want to have practice under different circumstances, okay? And you're going to see that throughout. We're going to get into parameters, which is basically creating now controls for the stakeholder when they look at their dashboard, so they can interact with your visualization to get different outputs of what you're building. Okay, let's go show more. Right, we're going to get into parameters. We're going to get into sets, which is similar to grouping, and that's a great way for us to compare data points. We're going to get into LODs. Now, LODs is probably the most requested topic ever on Tableau from my students on YouTube, because it's the one people struggle with the most. And I think the reason is because very rarely will you find an explanation that actually makes sense on how it works. But I found it. I actually found how it works, and a step-by-step procedure so that it never fails. Right? It's absolutely genius when I worked this out, because I was trying to figure out for myself in my daily life working as an analyst, how do I apply LOD that doesn't fail, in terms of you write it and you go, this is what I wanted, right? I figured out how to do it, and you're going to learn how to do that in this first part. Then we're going to go through 15 case studies. No joke, 15. And the reason it's 15 is because LODs, you have to keep practicing over and over and over again under different situations. And then once you get it, you're just like, oh my gosh, it makes sense. It's so easy. You just need to see it in different situations, right? Then we're going to get into the analytics pane. This is things like creating reference lines, constant lines, creating quartiles, adding average or median lines, all of that. And this adds another dimension to your visualization because, for example, you have a number and you're going, well, I want it to reach this target. Okay, so you can create those kinds of reference lines. Okay. Then we're going to get into dashboard design elements. So bringing in your visualizations into a dashboard is just one part of what you can do in dashboards. We can add a whole bunch of other stuff when it comes to your dashboards, but also how we space it, what font we use, right? What's the order, where the title goes, where should I put the filters, the order of the filters, right? The spacing of the, all these things actually make such a huge difference. It's sort of like when you get a book from the library and it's super dense, the text is all the way to the edges, right? And the text is this small and there's no gap. You're just like, oh, I'm already exhausted. That actually happens with visualizations where stakeholders, before they've even given any effort to your visualization, they look at it and they go, I can't be bothered with this. What's the point of creating it if no one wants to look at it? Right? So it needs to be a great experience when stakeholders see what you build. It needs to actually make them happy, right? It needs to be fascinating and interesting and colorful and all these things to the point where they go, wow, what is this thing? Show me more. Tell me more, right? And all of this is dashboards. Again, more dashboards. This now gets into kind of the more artistic side of dashboards. So how do you choose colors? Where do you get artwork from? How do you add text boxes? How do you use tiling? How do you create a menu, right? How do you create a downloadable link, right? All of that's going to be in there. We're going to get into dashboard objects. That's all part of the same thing. Then we're going to get into the animations of a dashboard. So how do you make it interactive? How do you make it when someone clicks on something or highlights, right? It gives a really easy experience of how it works. If you've ever played video games and you're playing like an RPG or there's a character and you look at the main menu of all your items, that how easy it is to navigate is the same thing. How easy is it to navigate your dashboard to figure out what you want to figure out, right? As a consumer. Okay. We get into story-driven dashboarding with some more functionality around that. Then we're going to get into custom visualization. So these are visualizations that don't necessarily come out of the box. Okay, we have to do some advanced calculations or structure to get a certain visualization. So you're going to get that all in here. And that is Tableau Expert. It is a beast. And when you do it, you're also going to be a beast.